Hi, I'm D. I'm the cheapskate. It's come to my attention that I made a mistake. Oh no, yeah, I made a mistake. What happened was I had several people who wrote in and said that they weren't able to get all 48 channels on their control boxes to come on all at once. Well, I never had that problem because I had three colors of lights on the house, and so they were never all on at once. Well, I did some research on the internet, and the solution I found was the milliamp draw of the Arduinos. This is wrong. That's not what the problem is. I put out a video. I shouldn't have. It was wrong, so I've deleted it. Which is why now I don't know the name of the person who wrote in and gave me the correct answer. When I deleted the video, I lost his comments as well. So all it takes is a ground. You have to ground the Arduino to the relay boards. It only takes a few feet of wire and a couple of minutes of your time, and with one Arduino, your 48 channel box will work just fine. I even had some people say they had 52 channels that were working fine. So it's only going to take a couple minutes to do this, so I'm going to show you a video right here of how to correct it, and you shouldn't have any more problems then. So let's look at the video.
This is a Mega 2560. You can see it doesn't say Arduino anywhere on it because it's not made by Arduino. It's one of the knockoffs you can get from eBay. They run about 12, 13 bucks a piece. So what we're going to be wanting to use here, along this double strip on the side, at the bottom, it says GND. I'm going to zoom it in a little bit here so you can see it a little better. It says GND right here at the bottom. That stands for ground. So the outside one here is the one I'm going to be using on the board here as I put the wires on it. And this is the ground that we have to use to connect to the relays on the board. So let me get the board up here. This is the Mega 2560 that's mounted on one of my control boards. So right here at the end, beside where it says GND, we're going to install our ground wire. Just poke it in just like the rest of the wires. It's a 22 gauge wire. Now one other thing, don't get confused with the other end of this. On the opposite end, the last two terminals there are both 5-volt terminals, positive. So do not hook that 5-volt to one of your grounds. Make sure that you're on the end here that has the GND on it. Okay, let me back this up so that we can see it a little better now. This is the back of one of my control boards. Now don't get confused by all the wires being red because I use whatever I have handy. Now my Mega 2560 is mounted down here on the board. This is that wire we just put into it. We're going to be going into the strip here that has the 9 screws. The legend here on the board itself shows channel 1 through channel 8, and then the last one is a ground. So the grounds are the ones that we're wanting to connect. Now I'm just going to daisy chain from one to the next, all the way around. So this one right here is the closest where my board is, so I'm going to start there. I'm going to grab another wire here that would go to the next one. I'm going to slip them both in under the ground screw. Snug it down. Give them both a tug there to make sure that they're in there okay. And then we're going to run this one right down to the ground screw on the next relay board. Take our 2 wires, slip them into the ground screw. Snug it down. Make sure they're both caught. And continue on till you get to the end. This one here will go to the next. So once we get all 6 of them connected to a ground, then we're going to test it. So I'll get all 6 of them connected and be right back. The grounds are all in place. I've got the board set up where you can see it. I've plugged in the transformer, the 5-volt power supply. You don't need your 110-volt power supply in because we're not plugging anything into the other side of the board here yet. But we've just got it set up so that we can see the lights on the board. I also have my USB cable over to my computer. And so now we're going to open up Vixen. And I'm going to open up one of the sequences here that I use just for testing. I'm going to shut off the sound because it's got a copyrighted song on it. Now if I go to my plugs, you can see that I've just got a stair-step pattern here. That way when I'm putting the lights on the house, I can just run it out to each one and turn that particular socket on and make sure that my lights all work while I'm installing them on the house. This is my second board, which means that it starts down at plug 49 and goes to plug 96. So here I've placed a level on each one. This will turn the lights on. I'm going to start it right over in here. I'm going to use the pause to stop it on it so that we can see the lights lit. So I'm going to start it, stop it, and you can see that all 48 of them are lit up just fine. So that was the only problem there was I didn't install that ground. For anybody that it cost them extra time or extra expense trying to figure this out, I apologize. And the guy that gave me this information, like I say, I wish I knew his name because I would give him a shout out. As I said, I think his first name was John, but he has taken care of the problem for me and everybody else so that now you can use all 48 channels on one of these boards at once. So once again, if you want to subscribe, I would appreciate it. I'd appreciate any likes as well. So till the next video.